Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, I've got our Sarah from Pixi Crystals. How did you come up with the name Pixi?
My nickname's Pixi,
Right, okay.
and it's crystals.
Right.
So Pixi and crystals.
Why do people call you Pixi?
Not a clue.
Honestly?
Not a clue. It's just a nickname I've had from the very start. But interestingly, I actually used to be called Jewellery
Right.
when I first started the business, which was named after my mum. And then we had a rebrand around about COVID time, and that's when we became Pixi and Crystals.
When did you get into crystals?
They've always been in my life.
Have you?
Always been
What,
in
mum
my
and
life.
dad?
My mum was very into crystals. She was Wiccan.
Okay.
And she always had crystals around us. When as a
You know
child,
when you say Wiccan?
Yeah.
What do you actually mean by
White
that?
Witch.
Right, okay.
White Witch. And, it's very much what you give out into the world, you get back threefold. So you give out love, you give out positivity, that's coming back to you. So yeah, that's the Wiccan side of me.
So when you say White Witch, what is she? Is she doing sort of like card readings and stuff like that for people, or is she just
So my mum used to do Reiki.
right?
For people. She was a massage therapist as well. But she used to do Reiki for people. And she was forever giving crystals out to everyone. If people were struggling, quite often they'd come to her, ask her for a little bit of help, and she'd just sit with them, give them advice, give them a hug when they needed, give them a crystal. And yeah, that was my mum.
When did you first set up your business then?
2016.
Right.
And it's taken a long time to build. For a very long time, it didn't seem like it was going to go anywhere. But when you love something, you just keep going, don't you? You just keep going. And it was actually my mum that got me started in business in a way. So I lost my mum when I was 14, and she left me with some beaded necklaces, which is this one.
Beautiful.
So they were my mum's beads, and I wanted to remake them into something that I could wear all the time. And so I did that, posted some pictures, everyone fell in love. People started asking me to make them bits, then I wrapped a pendant, posted a picture. My friends fell in love, asked me to wrap them a crystal for different things, and it just sort of grew. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this as a business. I'm gonna go for it.
Well, what was it called originally?
Jewellery.
Right.
So Xanthi is my mum's spiritual Wiccan name. So that's why it was called Jewellery, to sort of honour her memory because she helped me start. But yeah, then we had to rebrand, unfortunately.
What was the reason you had to rebrand?
COVID.
Right, okay.
So my business used to be under the barber's business.
Yeah, under Craig. Shout out to our Craig. Yeah.
Yeah, under Craig's. And obviously with COVID, we had to close the barbers. But I could keep working, but not if I was still under the barber's business.
Right.
So I bought my business from myself.
Right.
And rebranded so that I could keep going. Because I felt like it was quite important because a lot of what I do is like gifty type things. When everyone was struggling to see the family, they could purchase a gift from me. I could personalise it. I said, I'll go out, I'll pick up a card for you, write in that card for you, send it to people, and I could sort of bridge that gap a little bit. So I felt like it was important for me to keep going, and I felt like at that point everyone needed crystals more than ever, because I just love crystals. They get me through life, and I feel like everyone deserves to feel that love from crystals.
So you've been in such a young age, haven't you? The crystals and that, the spiritual, what a gift your mum's given you.
Oh, absolutely.
People usually get into it, don't they? Such a sort of like later on in life
Yeah.
and stuff, and they feel like there's something missing, and then
Yeah.
it's that into.
Yeah, no, I've been around it literally all my life, and it's definitely got me through life, a lot of tough moments, and I would have probably been very, very lost without it. So I'll be forever, ever grateful.
So you started from there. You went to online shop, did you? Is that how you were selling all your stuff?
Yeah, so I used to use Etsy
Right.
And Craig helped me set up a website. And I'm going to be really honest, at that point, weren't really going anywhere. It were Etsy, as much as it's great, it's a little bit overcrowded now. So it weren't really going anywhere at that point. And, you know, there were quite a few conversations between me and Craig where I was like, do you need me to stop? Do you need me to come into the barbers? And he was like, no, you love it. Keep going. I believe in you. Which was lovely. Yeah. Because it gave me that opportunity to keep going. And then I found myself in the social media live world. And that is where it's blown up. Absolutely blown up from. And now it's crazy. I do a live every Friday. And they pretty much sell me out, which is amazing. And I have ladies that, you know, they come back every single week. They tell me about how they've worn the jewellery somewhere. And I made a Larimar pendant for someone.
What's a Larimar?
This one.
Right.
This one's Larimar. Larimar's it's going up in price because the mine's shut. No more Larimar is being mined. So it's slowly and slowly creeping up in price. It's actually expected to exceed the price of diamonds. Wow. Which is craziness. So I made her a Larimar pendant that she bought from me at a really reasonable price because I don't believe in overcharging people. I charge what I need to charge, but I don't believe in overcharging. If I've got the crystal at a good price, I sell it on at a good price. And she had a lady offering her, just a random lady on the street offering to buy it off her for £100. And I was like, what? That's crazy. And she didn't sell it. I was like, wow, you should have sold it. I'd have made you another one. Because I think she bought it from me for about 25. Right. So to hear that someone's just on the street falling in love with this piece of jewellery that I've made and offering to pay that kind of money just out of the blue, it's a bit mind-blowing for me. A bit like, wow, someone really fell in love with a piece of my work, and that's amazing.
Yeah, good that, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, really good. It was quite a surreal moment.
You know, when you're doing your lives, what are you doing? Are you sort of like going through the crystals and the meaning behind them and stuff, or is it more you just selling the jewellery? What do you do?
So I show everything on my live. It's a bit of a marathon live. It's about 4 hours usually.
Whoa.
Yeah, but they want to see everything.
Yeah.
And I have a really lovely team around me that support me on my lives. I have regular customers that come back every single week. As far as they're concerned, Friday nights are Pixi Crystals live, nothing else. No one's allowed to ring them, no one's allowed to speak to them. They are on my live, bless them. So I go through, they love my handmade jewellery, so we usually go through that first. I also buy in sterling silver crystal jewellery, so we'll go through that as well. We'll go through the crystals. We have some resin, we have burners and incense, and we just go through everything. Now, I've got to be careful. I cannot sell you a crystal saying it helps you with this.
Yeah.
So I don't do that. But I can tell you what I find crystals help me with. So I can't go through the crystal healing properties anymore. I used to. But I can tell you what crystal helps me with different things. If that makes sense.
So let me ask you a few things then. The one you've got your in now is a tiger's eye. A tiger's eye. What does that do for you?
For me, tiger's eye is my courage and strength.
Yeah.
It gives me the courage to do what I need to do. It gives me my strength. I also say on a personal level, it gives me daddy strength, which I know sounds really crazy. It's my dad's favourite crystal. Right. So when I really need that bit of, you've got this, tiger's eye is the one.
Where does the tiger's eye come from? Where is it mined?
I'd love to be able to tell you, but I have memory like a fish.
Right, okay. It's fine.
So I'd love to be able to tell you, but I have a memory like a fish and I can't remember anything.
Right, that's fine. So the actual tiger's eye then, for anybody wanting to get some of that, what would people do? Obviously you got it in your hand and you're stroking it.
Yeah.
But can you just have it to one side and just, how does it work?
So you can literally do whatever you want with it. So you can have it just in your room and it will give off energy. So certain things, so like if you were to get like a tower,
Yeah.
that obviously gives out the energy straight up out of the point.
Right, so the tower, what do
Yeah.
you mean by that? Because I've seen the ones where it's like rock on one side and then crystals on the inside and it's pointing in a certain direction, not that.
No.
Right.
So like, literally like almost like your pyramid,
Yeah.
but a tower
Right,
with a
okay.
point on the top.
Right.
So like your pyramid, that's going to direct energy up,
Yeah.
out of the top point and out of each of the points as well.
Right, okay.
So that's going to radiate pretty much the full moon. Full room.
Yeah.
A sphere is going to give out energy everywhere.
Right.
So something like a palm stone, that's good to hold if you really need that crystal energy. If you're doing meditation, palm stones are amazing.
So just hold it in your hand.
Yeah, just hold it, feel the energy. You still get the energy from crystals if they're just sat in your room as well, unless you have a living room like mine with all the crystals.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah, they're all fighting against each other.
Yeah, well, people, they laugh at me on a Friday night because I get a little bit more and more loopy
Right.
through the evening because obviously I'm handling a lot of crystals. And, you know, as much as I don't try to absorb their energy when I'm showing them, some of that energy is automatically going to pass over to me. So by the end of my live, I'm like buzzing because there's just so much crystal energy and I get a little bit more loopy as the night goes on, but they find it quite amusing.
How do people choose a crystal?
People often find that they're drawn to something.
Yeah.
So I've had people on my live that I've shown a crystal and they've just suddenly started crying.
Right.
And they're like, wow. I've had it myself before where I've seen a crystal and then I'm suddenly getting heart palpitations.
Like overwhelming feeling.
Yeah. So you often find that the crystal, it calls to you.
Right.
It calls to you, or you'll look at it and think, oh wow, that's pretty. That's really pretty. And it just feels special to you. And sometimes you can choose a crystal because you're looking for a particular healing property, you're looking for a crystal to help with something in particular, but you usually find the crystals that you're meant to have find a way of getting to you.
What's a crystal that you think most people should have, like a rose quartz or something?
There's 3.
Right, go on.
Amethyst,
Yeah.
clear quartz, smoky quartz.
So amethyst, what's that for?
Amethyst is an all-round healer.
Yeah.
It's good for absolutely everything. It's especially good for anyone who struggles with headaches or migraines.
Is that the purpley one?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Purple one.
Yeah.
Clear quartz is what's known as a master healer. So that's also good for absolutely everything. It's also really good for energy levels. And it's also really good for like depression, anxiety. So clear quartz gives you that lift, but helps to keep you centered as well.
Right.
And then smoky quartz.
Is that the smoky quartz, the one that you given me?
Smoky
you
quartz
given me
is,
smoky,
yeah, that's
haven't
an
you?
incense holder, by the way.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah.
didn't realise at first, and then
Yeah.
when you told me, I was just like, it's cool, that.
Yeah, Craig said that you like burning incense.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, oh, I've got to send him one of these. Yeah, so smoky quartz. I think I put smoky quartz in your
pendant as well.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoky quartz is really good at protecting your energy.
Okay.
So I don't know about you, but you speak to a lot of people,
Yeah.
which is why we're like, you need some smoky quartz.
Yeah.
I'm an empath. So I'm the type of person, I'll go to the doctors and the doctor will tell me what's wrong with them. People just talk to me. Yeah. And I don't want to stop that. I don't want to stop listening to people. But equally, I need to protect my energy. And that's what smoky quartz does. It protects my energy, but still allows me to be there for people, help people, support people, but without it draining me. So that's why it's smoky quartz. As far as I'm concerned, everyone should have one with them all the time, 24/7.
So, just put it in your pocket, just have it lying around?
Yeah, put it in your pocket. I got to the point where I couldn't carry any more crystals, so I had to start making them. That's why these cards are brilliant, because you can change the crystal. I have, at home, I have a bowl that's just full of tumble stones, which is the little crystals.
Tumble stones?
Yeah.
Why are they called tumble stones?
That's just what they're called.
Right, okay.
So these are the tumble stones.
Yeah.
So every morning I'll go to my bowl, I'll just pop my hand in, pick a crystal out. Sometimes I'll do it with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
And I find that I get the crystal that I need that day, pop it in my card, and I know I've got that. And also I will sort of pick the jewellery with the crystal that I need as well.
Right.
But I suppose that's a perk of being a jewellery maker and being able to do that for myself.
So the actual tumble stones, then you've got a bowl, and it's just all the tumble stones are just different crystals within there.
Yeah.
Right.
That I've just collected over time. There's some in there that were my mum's from like years and years ago. Some in there that are mine from when I was a child. And I've just, it started off a small bowl. Now it's a large bowl, and it could do with being an even bigger bowl. But yeah, just all my tumbles, they go in that bowl. I'll use it, and then I have a selenite bowl as well, which is a little one.
Yeah.
So once I've used that crystal, I'll pop it in the selenite bowl.
Which does
So the
charges
selenite,
it back up or cleans
yeah, it cleanses and charges
Right.
other crystals. So I'll pop it in the selenite to give it a little cleanse, a little charge, and then every couple of days I'll go to my selenite bowl and put any tumbles on there back into my tumble bowl.
Ah, right. So the selenite is what you're telling me that I need to put with that pyramid.
Yes.
Which is obsidian, did you
Yes.
say? Which is obsidian. And having that next to it will give it, take away the negativity a little bit.
Yeah, so obsidian's really good at absorbing negativity.
Right, okay.
And negative energy. It's a really good crystal to have around, but because it absorbs it so powerfully, you need to keep it almost like constantly cleansing. So if you got just like a selenite plate and popped it on top of that, that's going to keep it cleansed and charged.
Got that in here.
Yeah.
So the green one that I've got here, which is
Malachite.
Yeah. Now this malachite one, when I get it, I always tend to just put it around my heart when I grab it.
Yeah.
It just like, for some reason, I just know that's where it connects.
It is connected to the heart chakra, is
Oh, is it
malachite.
really? Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malachite is another pricey crystal. That's raw malachite as well. Just a little word of warning, never lick it.
Lick it?
Yeah.
Have I licked it? I might have, probably.
Don't lick it.
Right.
Certain crystals can't get wet, but actually malachite is, if it was to get wet, is poisonous.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying to you, don't lick it.
Right. Okay, well, I definitely won't do that.
I mean, in general, I advise people not to sort of lick and eat the crystals.
It's probably
anyway.
one of my favourite crystals that I've got, because I do feel really connected to it when
it's
I've got
a
it. Like,
powerful crystal.
sometimes I do
malachite.
meditation and then just put it and then just hand over my heart and then I'll just...
That's perfect.
Yeah, just do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Really good for pain malachite as well.
Yeah. And what's this one?
This one, to me, looks like heat-treated amethyst.
Right, okay.
So it's pretending to be citrine, but it's actually heat-treated amethyst.
Right.
So it's still powerful, still lovely,
Yeah.
but it's not pure citrine.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about getting rid of that because it really doesn't connect with me at all.
That's maybe why.
Right,
Maybe why. Yeah. But still keep it around, because even though it's heat-treated amethyst, it'll still have the amethyst healing properties.
Yeah. I love them. I love crystals, and I don't know why. And that's why it's so good to talk to you, like, so I can get a little bit of a better understanding of it. Because I was always like, you know the big ones, like the massive ones, and they got the stone at the back, and then...
The amethyst, big amethyst geodes.
Yeah. What they call geodes.
Yeah.
Right. They're expensive, them, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're so powerful. If you're into manifestation...
Yeah.
The big amethyst geodes or caves, if you wrote on a piece of paper what you're trying to manifest, pop it in that cave. It makes it so much more powerful.
Put it in the cave.
Yeah, that's what I do. And it worked recently. We managed to get a house. It was getting a bit desperate.
Oh yeah, Craig was telling me you're getting a new house. Blackwood, aren't you?
Yeah.
Amazing, mate. I'm buzzing for you.
Can't wait. I need more space, because currently I work from home.
Yeah.
Which works perfectly, because my daughter's home educated as well. Yeah. She can't handle school, bless her. So I work from home, but I've taken over the living room at this point. Yeah. I can't expand any further. Craig comes home and it's like he's literally coming home to a warehouse, bless him. We've got 1 2-seater sofa left because that's all we've got space for. And at this point, I'm like, should we just get rid of the other sofa and just not have a living room? Because there's just that much, and it's just grown that big, which is amazing. I started on a tiny little trolley, you know, like the little metal trolleys with plastic drawers. I started on one of them years and years and years ago with my tools in one and my made pieces in another drawer and beads in another drawer. And now it's like I've got 2 desks, a big Kallax unit, storage at the other side of the living room, and it's just... And then I've got 1 2 3 4 of the little trolleys now all around me. So yeah, it's expanded quite a bit. So we need the new house for the space.
It's amazing, mate. Isn't it? Are you like proud of yourself? Have you actually taken stock of?
Yeah, I have now. I didn't for a long time. I'd say in the last month, it's quite crazy because I do my live, and then at the end of my live I do my little totals to see how I've done. And I'd say the last 3 weeks, as I've done my total, I've had a little cry and a little moment of, I've done it, I'm successful. And it's taken a long time to get there, but I'm successful and I've made something of myself, and people like what I do because they keep coming back every single week, bless them. They keep coming back, they keep clearing me out of stock. It takes me a full week to restock for the next live because obviously I make a lot of it. Yeah. So yeah, I have now probably just within the last few weeks I've gone, yeah, done all right.
Powerful,
done
that,
all
mate,
right.
isn't it?
It is powerful. It's really powerful. From where I once was to where I am now, miles apart.
What would you say that that shift? What's been the biggest thing? Have you just not been in just being yourself? Would you say that having the courage to go on a live?
Yeah. So the first few lives that I did, I was absolutely petrified. I'm a very anxious person. Which is what crystals get me through. I'm a very anxious person. So the first few lives I was absolutely petrified. But you soon get used to it, and I will always stick with my lives because I have the website as well and I post my products on my group, but it's my live ladies that have got me to this point. So I will never abandon them. They've got me this far, they've supported me, they've made me into a successful business. So I'll never ever abandon them. They will always be my priority. They will always get to see the first new stock. I've forgotten what I was saying now.
I think just that point of where do you think it turned for you?
Yeah, just being myself, and also Craig allowing me to be myself and believing in me and wanting me to do what made me happy. I spent a long time being told you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do the other, working 3 jobs when my daughter was 2 weeks old. And so then for Craig to be like, no, I want you to do it. I want you to take the time to do what makes you happy. I want you to make yourself a success, and I believe in you. That was huge.
You like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love him to bits. Like, but just being around somebody like that, it's just like.
It's just so chilled. It's so chilled. But do you know what's really fascinating with Craig? It was quite funny actually because my dad and my stepmom listened to the podcast with Craig, and they were like, "We didn't know Craig could talk so much." So when you get Craig in his work environment, he is so chatty. He's so happy. He's so in his element. He's really feeding off being able to help other people. And I think that's because, I don't know if I mentioned, both my children are autistic. And the journey with my daughter, wow, it's been a journey. The journey with my son, that took him 6 years to get diagnosed. And he goes to work and then he comes home and he watches me. at times do battle with the kids, especially my daughter. Mornings for school used to be a 3-hour battle every morning. I used to be pulling my hair out. It was so stressful. And he's watched me do that. And so because he knows what these parents are dealing with once they go home, he knows the feeling of utter loss and how do I deal with this situation? He knows how I feel when, we're somewhere and other people around me are reacting because they don't understand. He sees the upset with me and sees how much it affects me. So he really feeds off, well, in this moment when they step into my barbers, I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to make the parents feel like they're less than an amazing parent. I'm not going to make the children feel like less than. I'm going to make them feel empowered. And I'm going to be understanding. I'm going to be patient. And it's not going to be a negative experience. It's going to be a positive one. And if those parents can just feel uplifted from that one experience, I think that's amazing. Because if I could take my kids anywhere and for supermarkets, random people in the street, if everyone could just be understanding, it changed the world. It changed the absolute world for autistic kids. And even in schools, if teachers could understand more, my daughter would still be in school. So everywhere needs to have a Craig who just is willing to spend that time. It's not about money. A lot of places will say it's about money. It's not. It's just about time, patience, and understanding. And that's it. That doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, you're beautiful soul, mate, innit? You're both beautiful souls.
It's a gorgeous soul. It's a gorgeous soul.
The kids then, would you say they're energy healers? Have they both got gifts?
Lucy, my daughter, yeah, definitely. I've always said for a very long time she just gives magic hugs. She knows when someone needs a hug. And there's just something feels just different about a Lucy hug. My son won't touch anyone. He doesn't like physical touch. He won't even give me a hug. The only person in the house that gets a hug is the dog. So you won't get that from Ashton. But my daughter, yeah, she gives magic hugs. And she's actually done her Reiki training as well, her Reiki one. Yeah, she did it alongside me. And she's very into crystals. She's also Wiccan. And she's really starting to find her way within that now, which I love. I let her explore.
Yeah.
I let her look into what she wants to look into and let her find her own way, because I feel like that's important. I don't want to pressure anything. Same with my son. I would say he's more scientific.
Right.
He's more black and white. If that table's in front of me, it's in front of me. If I cannot see energy and smoke coming from a crystal, it's not happening. Whereas my daughter has that imagination and she can feel it, whereas he's very black and white, which is fine. I'm happy for the kids to be however they want to be, as long as they are happy, as long as they're not harming anyone, we're good.
I love the idea of, these kids just being the energy healers. There's something annoying, like they can just feel things that other people can't feel, can they?
Yeah, Lucy can, definitely. She feels things that even I can't feel, and I class myself as being quite in tune.
Yeah.
But she feels things that even I can't feel. And I'm like, what's going on today? And she's like, I don't know, something's off. And I'm like, right, okay, well, let's just send some energy there and it'll be all right. So that's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we just send some energy and then eventually she'll be like, right, okay, I'm starting to feel better now.
How do you do the homeschooling then? What's that like?
At times stressful.
Yeah.
But a lot less stressful than the 3-hour battles I used to have getting her in school. And also because she was so overwhelmed in school, she wasn't taking any information in, because all her energy was going on keeping herself calm, keeping herself okay. So she wasn't actually learning. Now she's a lot calmer. So we do the basics, maths, English, science. She doesn't love it, but she does it. And then we have a Lucy Interest Day. So my daughter's very into fashion design, drawing. She likes telling me about the different goddesses and things like that. So we have a Lucy Interest Day every week where she can do whatever she wants as long as she can show me a piece of work by the end of it. So whether that's designing a dress or writing about a goddess or drawing a picture and sketching something for me, as long as she can show me something at the end of that day, that's what she does. And eventually she wants to start making clothes.
That's cool. Which
I'm like, do it, go for it, let's go. So hopefully she'll really start getting into that soon, because she's enjoyed fashion design for quite a while. With Lucy, you tend to find she'll be into something and then it disappears, then she'll be into it and then she disappears.
Yeah, sounds like me though. I'm going to do a Tim's Interest Day.
Oh, yeah, do it. But it's a good way for her to get all that information, because she, being autistic, she info dumps. So she collects information about that interest and it takes over her brain. So it's also a good way for her to get all that information out and put it somewhere where she can look back on, so she doesn't have to keep it held, so that she has space to take in new information as well. So that's really important that we do the Lucy Interest Day so that she can explore.
And does she I'm just asking for myself here, does she remember stuff quite well, or does information come in and then she gets rid of it to get new information? So could she recall the other information?
So if it's her special interest,
yeah,
she'll remember every single detail.
Right.
If it's not her special interest, not a chance.
Right, sounds like me that.
Sounds like me as well.
Yeah. Where it just comes in and then it's just like, it's not really that important information, so I don't need to store it.
Yeah, so it just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Lucy. And me, I have to. I'm a list girl. Everything's got to be on a list. If it's not on that list, it's not happening.
Yeah. What's next for Pixi Crystals then? What?
Just keep going. Keep growing. It'd be lovely to bring new customers in. I'm working at the minute on improving the flow of getting stock onto my website. So my son now works for me on a Saturday after my live. So anything that's not sold on my live makes its way onto the website. So we're working now at improving that flow because not everyone wants to come on a live, and that's fine. And also the lives can seem, if you've not been on a selling live before, you can find yourself on there and be like, oh my God, what am I doing? What goes on? How does this work? Yeah. And it can seem quite daunting. It's not daunting once you know. But not everyone wants to do that. So I'm trying to improve that flow of getting stock onto the website and improving the website traffic. That is my next stage. But as one person, it takes me a week to restock for the live. So I'm struggling now with the time element. And then obviously Craig's so busy, he can't help me, which is fine. And then like packing the parcels as well, it's just me that does that. My daughter sometimes helps me on a Saturday, but it can take me 2 days to pack the parcels from the live to get them out.
How does the lives work then? So people come on the live and then do they buy from your website, or how does it work?
No, they buy direct from the live. So they come on the live, I show an item, I give it a code, tell you the price, give it a code, tell you about it, and then whoever wants to buy it will type that code into the chat. The first person that comes up on my screen with that code will get the item. I pop it into your box, pop it on your invoice, and then on a Saturday morning, I'll send you an invoice, details of how to pay, and a list of what you've bought as well. And then they pay, and then I post it out.
So what's that, just Facebook, is it?
Yeah, just Facebook. Yeah.
Can't you do the same thing on TikTok?
No.
Not on a Friday, you could do it on a different day.
I could, if I had enough time.
Right.
But what I don't, because I was trying to work out a way to squeeze in another weekly live on Instagram. Mm-hmm. But because my ladies on Facebook are so good at clearing me out, it takes me all week to restock.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to compromise my handmade items because that's what everyone really, really loves.
Yeah.
I fear that if I started doing more than one live a week, I would slowly relax into buying in more stock than I'm making. Right. And then I feel like I'd be losing what's special about Pixi Crystals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
So it's purely, it's time.
Yeah.
Time. If I had the time, absolutely could. And also people, you know, because sometimes I think, well, I wonder if I could train my daughter a little bit and she could start helping me make stuff. But Pixi Crystals is me. My items are me. They're, you know, it's a love that I put into every piece. It's, you know, teaming the crystals together that I think work well together. And I think only I can do that for Pixi Crystals. Does that make sense?
I get it, Sarah, yeah.
Yeah, because it's me, it's not a random person, it's me. And I put love into every single piece. The amount of times I'll wrap a pendant and go, I'm not happy with that. And I'll undo it all. And Craig will be like, no, someone would have been happy with that. And
it's
I'm
beautiful, that pendant, mate.
That one?
Yeah, really
That's
cool.
made by me, that's gorgeous,
it's really
Larimar.
cool.
And that's the other thing as well. I like to make sure the crystals are fully secure. So like this crystal's going nowhere. And what I will do when I come up with a new design, I'll make one for myself. I'll wear it for a bit. Make sure it's fully secure. Make sure it's not going to bend out of shape before I then make it to sell. And there's a lot of thought and love that goes into every single piece because I would hate for someone to get a piece and then the crystal fall out. I'd be devastated, absolutely devastated. So that's why I think only I can do it because it has to be right to my level. And also it's a love, it's the energy that I put into the crystal as I'm making it. And because I love doing what I'm doing, people feel that love once they receive the crystal as well.
I could tell when you're touching the tiger.
Could you?
Mate,
yeah.
There's some energy in that, you know.
There's a lot. This has been getting me through a lot recently. Wow. So there's a lot of energy in there. I think because it came from my dad as well. My dad had a heart attack in January. Right. And he is my strength, my absolute strength. He's doing really well now. But he gave me this, I think it was just before. And so, yeah, it's sort of been with me ever since. So it's taken a lot of energy as this one and given me a lot of strength. There's a lot coming from it at the moment. It could probably do with a cleanse, but I'm just not ready to cleanse that energy away yet.
Yeah, there's something just there that feels right.
Yeah.
It doesn't need cleansing at the minute, that, does it?
No, it's still giving me that strength that I need.
Beautiful, mate. So if anybody was wanting to find you,
yes,
where can they find you?
Facebook.
Yeah, Pixi and Crystals.
Yeah, Pixi and Crystals. It's a Facebook group with a little diamond emoji. Yeah. Join the group. That is the first place where you see new stock. It then filters through to my website, which is pixiandcrystals.co.uk. But new stock, definitely the lives, Friday night, 6 p.m. on the group.
Let's get them there. Pixi and Crystals, Facebook Live. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you. Thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.